Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we return to Chess Ultimate, where chess meets funky characters with even funkier abilities. Let's dive in. Alright, the first order of business is to decide what characters to purchase with the keys that we got last time. Okay, here we are in the shop. We have 3 keys to spend, which is not a lot, but enough for at least 1 character, possibly 2 should we get like a giant squid, for example, and perhaps a sludge. Now from the last episode, I kind of liked the berserker, I really did. It seems like a pretty good way to trap the king, and that in combination with a mage seems like it could be a pretty good idea. I also like the bomb as well, and actually the copycat could be an interesting one to use because there are 2 of them. Well, no, they get knocked off in tandem, so if anything, it's like a wider liability, if that makes sense. The sniper could also be interesting, although it would be a little bit slow to move it from side to side. It would be a good way to clear through the enemy's defense. Okay, for the time being, let's grab one of these berserkers. Let's do try just so you guys can see how it works. Basically, it encapsulates a radius of 1. It can move 1 square around itself, and thereafter it can move 2 after it captures another piece, and then 3 after it captures another, and so on and so forth. So here you can see the berserker right now hasn't captured anything. It can only move 1 square in any direction, but now after capturing a piece and beating it up off the board, you'll see if I highlight it, it can now move 2 squares in any direction. And should I go and capture this pawn, then it would be able to move 3, and that would encapsulate the king, which puts it in checkmate. So I think this is a pretty good piece to use. I would just have to get it to capture some pieces and get it to the enemy's king side. So let's rock and roll with one of these berserkers as well. All right, we'll buy this item. It leaves us with 1 key. I guess I could spend on one of these pieces. Let's go with, ooh, what does the turtle do? I was gonna say the giant, because the giant controls 4 squares and can capture 4 squares in any orthogonal direction. So we'll take a quick look at that as well, because it is worth considering. The giant squid takes up 4 squares, but also uses up 4 squares when it moves around. So you'll see it has 4 pieces here on any side, and it can knock out all 4 of those pieces because again, it replaces them. So that's an interesting purchase. I'm not sure if that's the one that I want to go with. I forgot what the turtle does. Depending on what the turtle does, we'll go with this or the giant squid. The turtle moves in straight lines 1 square at a time. Try them out. Oh, that's right. He literally just shuffles around. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna go with this guy for the time being, unfortunately. Although it does make sense why he's only worth 1 key. Oh, the other one I'd like to get at some point is a Jester, just to confuse the opponent. But okay, we'll go with the giant for now. We'll buy this item. Thank you. All right, and now we have no keys left. We are officially broke. So it is time to get back onto the battlefield. Ultimately, the goal is to play some of these ranked games, but you have to unlock all of the characters if you want to play a ranked game. And the only way to do that is to collect keys by playing Unranked first. So this was the original setup that we had. We do also have the berserker now, but we'd have to get rid of 15 points in order to use it. So I suppose we can get rid of one of these queens. How exactly do I go about doing this? Do I just throw you off the board? Okay, that worked. We now have enough points to place one of these berserkers. Let's place it, I suppose somewhere central would make the most sense. Let's place it right here on D3. We have 4 points left to work with. We might as well place, oh, we can place a giant squid as well. I can place 4 giant squids now. That seems, is that not very, very strong? Oh, they take up a lot of space though, I see. Okay, so we'll place a giant squid and we might as well place a pawn down as well. A little extra defense for the king. All right, I think we're ready to rock and roll. We've used up all 100 points and I think we have a pretty decent strategy. We also have a ninja on the board that can move through pieces. Obviously our king is on the back rank and we have a bishop placed on H3 as well. And these are 2 queen bees. All right, I think we're ready to go. Game found, don't mind if I do, against Deku. Is that an anime reference? Holy smokes, is this a strategy? I can't see any of their pieces. I mean, fair enough. They have 2 minutes to make their first move. They advance one of their berserkers and they have snipers down, they have squids down, and I'd imagine they have more stuff down there as well because the squids don't cost that much to place. All right, let's advance one of these squids. Oh, the opponent has moved one of their ghosts. You can see their thing has activated. It is our turn again. Okay, this player is a little bit intimidating. Let's move the squid out of the way. And I'm now also looking at the berserker with my bishop, which I've just realized can also be sniped. I believe the opponent has moved. I don't know what they moved. I'm gonna be honest, I totally missed it. I was looking over here, but let's go ahead and capture this berserker with my bishop. Sweet. Now that is not a concern anymore, although it will probably be recaptured. Okay, the opponent has moved another ghost. I'm starting to think the opponent is making their way down to the back rank. I believe the ghost can move 2 at a time. So had the ghost started, say, on G6, it could have made its way down, possibly even to the back rank at this point. But okay, we'll continue to capture. Let's capture, do we capture the squid or the sludge? I suppose the sludge is a bigger concern, so we'll capture that. And if the opponent allows me to continue capturing, I certainly will, all the way down to the king. Or at least, I suppose that's the king. It may very well be a Jester. No, I think that's the only king-looking thing that's on the board. Okay, let's advance one of our own squid, which should capture the opponent's squid as well. Nice. Oh, and we've captured the ghost, who revived survives? Oh no, the ghost was here, so the ghost actually recaptured. Since it has recaptured, I can now see where it is, which means I can take back with my queen. Of course, the opponent could take back with the squid, but then I take back with my own queen, and I think I'm doing well there. They have no more ghosts. You can see that their stone is not there anymore. We'll go ahead and take back with our own queen. Now, threatening check against the enemy king. I don't believe they have an easy defense there. I'm pretty sure they just have to shuffle the king out of the way, and that's exactly what they do. The queen by herself, I don't believe is going to be enough to defeat the king. The enemy smiles and waves thumbs up. We'll return the favor. But I do think if we bring the ninja into play, we'll be in a pretty darn good spot, if not just completely winning. So we'll give that a try. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized I could have given check and captured the bomb to eliminate the king, but okay. The sniper moves into position. Now, if I advance here, I'm actually giving check to the king because the sniper can jump. So it's threatening the king at the moment. Oh, it's checkmate. Even better. The opponent does not have a way to get out of that because the sniper is just so powerful. It's like a knight that can move like any other piece. It's just very, very strong piece. So we've delivered checkmate. Let's go ahead and continue. And we've also unlocked 2 character keys and all of these other interesting statistics. Let's go ahead and head back into the shop. That is still not the shop. Second time I've done that now. Okay, we're back in the shop with 2 keys. As far as strategy goes, I like the ghost. Was a little bit intimidated by it when I saw that the opponent was playing it, but at the same time, they weren't able to make much of it. The penguin could be interesting to freeze. The parasite could be interesting to grab the enemy's pieces. Sludge could be interesting for defense, but to be honest, that is just not my style of play. My style of play is offense. So I'm thinking we grab one of these snipers. We'll try it out so everyone can see how exactly it's supposed to work. The sniper moves 1 square at a time, left and right, so I can shuffle him over. And the way the sniper works is it fires shots. So I can capture this pawn without moving my sniper. Knocks it off the board, king shuffles over, and basically what I'm gonna do here is deliver a species of ladder's mate. So I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle over, puts the king in check, king shuffles over, and I will bring more snipers to the party. King moves up, we'll put the king in check once more. I shuffle over, the king will move down, and it should be mate. All right, and with that, we do get checkmate. I like this idea because the sniper doesn't actually have to involve itself. It can shoot from a distance. So I have a couple of ideas. Let's first buy the item before I start explaining into the air without being able to actually show you guys on the board. Let's go back, play, and unranked. Okay, this is our current team setup. A sniper is, a sniper's 13 points though. That is not a cheap piece. The Berserker, to be frank, I thought was going to be cooler, but after some practical play, I realized it's just so far away from the enemy pieces that the enemy is never going to be in danger of getting captured. So as cute as that little horse knight demon bear thing is, I don't think it's actually doing us any service. So let's grab a sniper. I feel like opponents have a tendency to put the king in the middle. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my sniper in the middle as well. It doesn't have a lot of side-to-side mobility, so let's maybe push it up a little bit and perhaps move the queens back, because the queens can get into play anytime. The sniper moves very slow. The ninja is not trapped, it can always jump over, and the squid is just doing its squiddy business over here. Okay, we've got a bishop, and I think this is good. We've got a couple of pieces, the squid, the bishop, and the sniper in particular, that serve as battering rams to go through the position. The sniper's less of a battering ram, more of just like a distant shooter. And then we've got the queens and the ninjas that actually go in and deliver the final blow. So I think we're ready to rock and roll. We are playing against, oh, Deku again, this poor guy. Okay, he's changed his setup though. He now has checker pieces in the middle. He's got berserkers defending the king, which is actually very amusing. And then some bombs, some squids, and a sniper. So the reason I say this is very amusing is because, oh, I forgot about the arrows. Because the berserkers move 1 square, they actually defend all of these pieces. And if I try to break into that king's position, the berserkers gain power with every capture. So that's actually a very amusing way to play this. On the other hand, checkers pieces means I can force them to move out of the way. Not right now, but should I somehow say drop this bishop here, the opponent would have no choice, I believe, but to capture. Unless they don't have to, because it would put their king in check. I'm not sure how those two rules mix, actually. But okay, that's not really my strategy. My strategy for now is going to be a sacrifice for this checkers piece. And the idea is that I remove one of the berserkers and go in for the capture. Oh, wait, I can't go in for the capture. The berserker now moves 2 squares in any direction. Okay, that is a critical oversight. Let's go for some easy captures then. We've knocked off one of the checkers pieces, so this guy goes to sleep for a little bit. The bomb rolls into position. Unfortunately, I do believe I can just capture that. Thank you very much. Oh, but it eliminates my ninja. Oh, interesting. That is actually not great news at all. And we've got another bomb rolling into position as well. Okay, let's advance and try to block it. Should the bomb capture, it would get rid of my squid, but it wouldn't be the end of the world for the position. Okay, but the bomb just rolls out of the way. Quite a terrible day to be playing with the white pieces. Okay, I guess we'll shuffle over again with the same idea of blocking. Bomb moves out of the way again, and I will simply continue to block. I think that's my best shot here. Okay, the bomb rolls backwards, which means I can capture, and it should eliminate a lot of these pieces actually, which is a huge plus. It doesn't exactly make up for, oh, my squid doesn't get eliminated. Oh, maybe these squids are, oh, never mind. It gets recaptured, but it doesn't get eliminated from the bomb, which I think is very, very noteworthy. Let's take a little shuffle over here and take a look at this checkers piece, which can't really move. Should it move, it uncovers the king behind it. So let's go ahead and capture this checkers piece. Boom. And now the king is in check. They've moved a ghost. Oh, and this guy's asleep. Oh, for crying out loud. Not the best time to take a nap. I don't know where the ghost is, but there's not much that I can do about it. So let's just move the queen into position to give check to the king. If I had to guess, the ghost maybe is here, trying to block the check potentially, but that is not a very confident guess. Whoa! The king moves up, unless that's a jester. If that is a jester, then, oh no, it's because the squid blocks, I see. The squid covers c6 here, interesting. Okay, let's move you over again. Now he's looking down the d file at the king, the queen is looking down the diagonal, and I think we're in a pretty good spot here. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure the opponent starts their ghost somewhere around here. So I believe that's where it must be hanging out at the moment. They've moved their ghost again. Let's take a shot at the squid. Hello, please? Can I fire a shot at the squid? Okay, I can, I just have to click on the square. Okay, now it's double check. Oh, it's only one check, interesting. Right, it's only one check because this guy's actually asleep. So we need to reevaluate his pay structure. This guy gets paid per Z. The opponent has now used a decent chunk of time thinking about what they're gonna do here. Unfortunately, the king is rather undressed. I mean, the squid was doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of protecting along the file and diagonal, but there's nobody there anymore. Not to mention, there's no way home, Spider-Man reference, because the queen cuts off the king on the file. So I'm not sure what they're gonna make of this. I mean, I'd imagine the only option here is to move back or something of that nature. 5 seconds left for the opponent. 2, 1. Okay, the opponent chooses to flag instead, which I guess is reasonable. We have 2 character unlock keys. Let's see what we can make of that. I also want to see what all of this is, but like the battle pass and the quests, but I need to focus on the main task first. Okay, what can we spend these on? I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to spend them on all of them, and to be frank, I'm quite happy with my current setup, but I think I'm gonna spend it on a Jester. Go ahead and buy this item, and the reason the Jester is interesting is because it looks exactly like another king to the enemy. So we'll go ahead and play Unranked and see how we integrate the Jester. First of all, how much is the Jester? 10 points. Okay, so kind of reasonably priced, sort of, a little bit. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of these pawns. Don't think I need them anymore. We have 2 more points that we need to get rid of. Okay, as much as I hate to do it, we'll get rid of yet another pawn. And we'll throw a Jester down on the opposite corner. Now, I think this side looks more protected. This side only has a pawn to its name. So I'd imagine the opponent wouldn't think this is actually the king. So wouldn't it be funny if I did something like this, and it looks like this side is super well protected, but it's actually this one that's the real king. Not to mention I have a ninja who can move at a range of 3 at close range, just in case the opponent figures this out. Oh, I can put down another squid actually. Okay, let's do this actually. Let's move the squid over and drop another squid right here. I like this because it gives us a lot of protection right on top of the king. And I think the opponent's gonna have a hard time figuring out what to do against that. So it's not the same strategy I was going to go for, which was a very blatant fake out, but I do think it's still pretty good. I mean, it hides the king pretty darn well there. All right, I'd say that we're ready to go. Well, maybe let's centralize the sniper so it can actually fire off some reasonably important shots. Okay, I think with that, we've done enough overthinking. Let's rock and roll. All right, I wonder if it's gonna be Deku again. Okay, this is a different guy. Oh, with a completely different setup. That is highly amusing. So they have an angel, they've got a frog. The problem is, or rather not a frog, a prince. The problem is I'm not exactly sure what some of these do anymore. I have come to learn that the reindeer is just a knight with a skin, so nothing to be afraid of there. Oh, wait, can I click on them and find out what they do? Okay, double move. What? Okay, the enemy forfeited, so we did absolutely nothing. I'm keeping the exact same setup for the next game, but I'm gonna go ahead and spend my 2 keys. Might as well buy... Let's buy a sledge. Actually, let's start working our way down, because to be frank, I'm not super interested in most of these. The only ones that are really interesting, actually, maybe I am, wait a minute. Because the angel, the bomb, and the devil are still very, very interesting pieces. This is like a free life. This is pretty self-explanatory, and this one produces little minions that works for it. The only problem is they're more expensive than what we have at the moment, so maybe I'll just not spend anything this round, and move on to the next match. All right, let's rock and roll. I liked my original setup, and see who we get. Okay, we get the same guy again. Please do not forfeit. I am ready to play. Okay, they've advanced their squid. First thing we're gonna do is get rid of this darn angel, right? Because anything that latches onto gives it an extra life. Not to mention the king is right there, I believe. Oh, they capture our sniper. How terribly rude. But it's actually great for us because now the queen is gonna get knocked off the board when we recapture and put the enemy king in check. I love how they just bounce each other off the board. That's like the best thing ever. Okay, the king moves out of the way. He is in fact safe for the time being. I do believe, however, I can capture this squid. Nice. All right. And I don't believe anybody can take me back either, because the squids move orthogonally. So funny enough, I'm actually safe here. We'll see what the opponent makes of that new information. Okay, the squid moves down. I've also just realized, oh wait, that's free. But I was gonna say, I've also just realized that really the Jester should be on A1 on this square, and the king should swap places with the Jester, because the Jester is obstructed at the moment. Okay, did the opponent play? No, they have not. Okay, they've developed their queen. Whoa, which puts us in check. Hold on a minute, we're actually in danger now for a minute. Let's move the queen back here and counterattack the queen with our own, but also block the check, more importantly. Okay, the opponent advances their queen, and it's pretty much offering a fair trade, because the prince can move 2 times in a row if it doesn't capture on the first turn. So if it doesn't capture, it can move here. So without capturing, it can advance forward and then recapture the queen, but that is just a fair trade. So I'm pretty sure I'm okay with that. Let's go ahead and take here. Nice. I expect the prince to take back. I believe that's what that move was made for. Right, that's exactly what we get. Our queen gets eaten, but he decides he doesn't like bees in his mouth. But our queen is in fact recaptured. Okay, now let's go ahead and put the king in check with the queen and attack the prince. Now, I suppose the prince will capture once more, but then I can take back with the ninja. Whoa, they don't! And I was gonna say I'm gonna be way better off, but now I'm seriously gonna be way better off. Okay, this is completely winning now. Now it's just a matter of converting because I have 70 points off on the board. The opponent has 6. Yeah, that knight is also free, and the king has 1 checkers piece to his name, which is probably the last thing a chess player wants to have to play with. All right, the enemy does forfeit and we get 2 extra keys. Now I can go buy some of those more expensive characters. All right, go to the shop and engage in consumerism. I'm kidding. The bomb, the angel, and the devil. I actually do want to try out the bomb. I believe they can move 2 squares in a row, up to 2 squares in any direction. Okay, so 2 squares. Oh, 2 squares in any direction is actually amazing. Okay, and then you go for the capture and it explodes anything within a 1 block radius. Okay, cool. Let's buy this item. We'll have 1 key left over, and we might as well spend the extra key on, I don't know, checkers pieces. Why not? All right, cool. We'll head back now and play another unranked game. Is there anything that I want to change here? Because now I have this bomb piece, which actually seems very, very fun to use. Oh, that's right. I was going to swap the king and the jester. Now the king is a little bit obstructed from the opponent's view, and the jester is in plain sight with an army in front of it, so maybe the opponent will get confused. Other than that, we have to get rid of some serious points if we want to use a 18-point bomb. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's worth it anymore. I think we might just rock and roll with what we have. Maybe eventually we'll find a setup where the bomb is necessary. What is that name? But for the time being, does that say boba? I presume it doesn't, but it would be kind of funny if that's what the intended name was. All right, the opponent's setup is a row of pawns and an extra guy in the back, some rooks / rocks, some queens / queen bees, a bishop, a king, and a knight. Okay, so these are all normal chess pieces, which makes me suspect that the opponent perhaps is not trying to engage too much with the funny business that comes with all these rather funny pieces. Okay, let's start with firing a shot at this pawn. Of course, the rook can take back, but we'd recapture with the queen, and I think we're in a pretty good spot there. Oh, this guy falls asleep, but he's looking straight at a rook. This would be a great time to wake up. Let's continue by bringing the ninja into battle. If I can advance the ninja and threaten the queen, I think we're in a pretty good spot. We'll see what the opponent makes of this. I'm suspicious that the opponent perhaps is unfamiliar with how some of these other pieces work. Because these are all chess pieces. Obviously, they are the chess ultimate form of those pieces, but ultimately chess pieces. Okay, they advance a pawn, which means we can snipe the rook, and I'm pretty confident now that the opponent is only trying to play with chess pieces without actually understanding how the other pieces work. Which, you know what? You kind of have to respect it. As a chess player myself coming into this game, going and setting up all of your pieces just as regular chess pieces and just grinding out the game, nothing but respect for that work ethic. Let's go ahead and take this pawn with my queen. It is launching perhaps something of an attack, but at the same time, it could just be they're trying to develop their pieces. So for example, if they play queen to a3 here, that would be a very telltale sign. They believe this is the king, even though our king is actually hidden behind a squid. But we'll see what they make of it. Oh, that is not a good sign. The queen captures the squid. Whoa, who defends that? Absolutely nobody. How do I stop this attack? My king is all by himself. I think the opponent did not fall for our silly Jester idea. The sniper can't do anything. He's just simply under attack. Okay, on the bright side, the queen can't mate us by herself. The worst thing that could happen is we shuffle side to side. The downside is I don't know how I stop that shuffling from occurring. Oh, not to mention there's this idea of check. I mean, I have my own bishop to block with, but it's not ideal. Wow, they're actually doing a great job here. You've got this pawn rooting this. Oh, and I only have 10 seconds. Okay, we're just gonna advance the bishop and try to bring some defensive pieces over. But yeah, they're doing a great job. They now have this outpost where the bishop can be rooted by the pawn to give check to the king, who's being controlled by the queen. Wow, you've got to respect it 100%. That is a very nice, nicely formulated attack. All right, that's exactly what their idea is. Hey, look at that. 2 chess players on the same wavelength. You'd love to see it. Okay, so the thing is now we can take, and I think that's the natural move without even overthinking it. And the reason I say that is because should the pawn take back, there's ideas of check, and suddenly the king is in a little bit of danger for the enemy. Okay, sure. The only problem is if I commit the queen now, my possibilities of ever defending, well, actually no, there's still options there. I can play check, and supposedly they block somehow. I can take the rook, and then I have this battery that can come back and defend my king. But it does rely on an extra tempo. Ooh, they sack the rook. Don't mind if I do take and give another check. But again, my king is by himself. We'll see how this pans out. Okay, this time the knight goes back. Unfortunately, I can still take with the queen because I'm defended by yet another queen bee on e3. That was a whole bar right there. The queen takes back. We'll take back with a check of our own. And funny enough, I still don't think I'm winning here because again, there's this repetition that I have to be extremely careful of. Let's give a check. Oh, and then here, this could be a realistic plan. I take and then I take this pawn, but it would require the opponent moving back to h8. Oh, they do. Oh, beautiful. Okay, we'll play check, and then pretty much wherever the king moves, I'm taking here, and I have this file under control, which is all that I need, I believe, in order not to fall for threefold repetition. Nice, we'll take with check, which is even better because now I have yet another tempo where I can move my queen back. And then all is well in the kingdom. Okay, sweet, we slide back, and somehow we have weathered the storm against what is clearly a chess player. We'll go ahead and take back with the king. I love that he has a little pawn come and do his deeds for him. And now this is pretty much completely winning. This pawn by itself can never advance, even just against one other king. So we have all 3 of these pieces, or all 4 of these pieces, I suppose. The squid, the sniper, the ninja, a pawn, and a jester to fight 4 pawns, which should be relatively straightforward. We'll start by eliminating this one right here. Basically, ninja, I guess, to d8 is fine, and that should be mate. Nice, king moves back. We'll drop the ninja, which gives check, and that should be mate. Nice, with that we do get checkmate and manage to defeat a fellow chess player. With that, we get 2 more character keys. Let's head over straight to the shop and see what that gets us. Okay, holy smokes, we still have a lot of keys to get. How many games do we have to win? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 18 more keys. Wow, that is 9 more games. I don't know that we're gonna have time for that this episode, but I'm gonna do my best to get some more of these out of the way. We have 2 keys done. Is there anybody else that I want? Actually, here's a strategy that I've been thinking about, is what happens if I put an angel on a bomb and then I just send the bomb loose into the enemy's position? Obviously, I don't have enough keys for that now, but it's something that I want to try out. So let's play another game. I like the original setup, sure, so we'll rock and roll with that and accept the game that was found against our friend Deku again. All right, let's rock and roll. I still see the sneaky king back there. The enemy gets to move first, however. And we're met with a shot against one of our pieces. Okay, let's return the favor with a shot against the squid and a stare down against the king. Okay, the king shuffles over, actually unnecessarily because it wasn't actually in check. This guy's asleep, so nothing I can do with him. Let's put the king in check like this. I didn't actually expect to use the bishop, but we'll bring it into battle since it seems to be worth something. And the devil creates a minion to block that check. Okay, so with that in mind, oh, wait a minute, I can just snipe the, oh, but he would fall asleep. Okay, let's move the sniper over, right? And the devil moves out of the way, which puts the king in double check. I will say, the fact that it produces a minion and then starts to grow a mind of its own and walk around and do whatever it pleases must be quite frustrating for the opponent. Okay, the king shuffles over. Yeah, the problem with these squids is they do a great job of covering our king, but then they can't actually advance by themselves because they're stuck behind our own pieces. Okay, let's try this. We'll centralize the ninja. I believe these minions can only move 1 square at a time, So the ninja is actually threatening to capture it on the next turn, but also advance into the king's position. Okay, the bomb rolls closer, which is unfortunate. If I snipe the bomb, I believe that eliminates my ninja in the process, which is not what I would like to happen. Unless, wait a minute, unless I move my ninja back here, yeah, and then I eliminate the devil and put the king in check. And that is checkmate, nice, right. I was gonna say, because the squid can't actually capture back, because the king is in those 4 squares, so it'd have to eliminate its own king. All right, with that, we win 2 more keys, I suppose. Very nice. In a rather crushing defeat. That was pretty nice. All right, let's head over to the shop. And I do want to try that strategy on for size. Let's go and just buy the item and go straight into another game. I'm going to create another setup for this because, to be frank, this setup has served me so well that I think it'd be a crime to start to take it down. So we'll go ahead and create another setup. All right, we'll start with the classics. A pawn in front of the king, a jester. Of course we need a ninja. Of course we need at least a queen. Now we are going to use a bomb, and we're also going to use, oh, an angel is 40 points. Holy smokes. Okay, wait a minute. That begs the question. Do I want to use an angel on the bomb or on the ninja? Right? Because the ninja seems a little bit more agile than the bomb, because we're looking at 3 squares in every direction as opposed to 2, and the bomb can't attack through pieces while the ninja can. So, even though that was the strategy, I'm going to place the angel with the intent of using it on the ninja right away, and I guess send the bomb back. Wow, this is a 100-point setup. That is criminal. The jester's only 10 points, so that doesn't actually change much. Guess the queen is worth 9. All right, I suppose we're ready with a rather nude position, but I think we're ready to go. And we'll just have to see what the opponent makes of it. All right, we found a game. Let's go ahead and accept and see what we're met with. Ragin is our opponent. Oh, and we get to move first. Oh, nice. Okay, they've got actually a pretty standard setup. And hopefully they don't know which one is the king. I mean, it's, I suppose, kind of obvious considering there's only a pawn in one of them. But let's go ahead and use the angel on the ninja as planned. So now it has an extra life. Okay, and the bomb shuffles over. Okay, now we just need to bring the ninja into battle. So what happens if I move it here to d6? It would seem to be out of range of any enemy pieces and put the king in check. Oh, but I can't move that far that quick. Okay. Well, we might as well start advancing in that general direction. Okay, the bomb advances as well. Funny enough, not threatening anything. They may be going for the jester, which would be wonderful news. Let's continue to advance the ninja, putting the enemy king in check. Yeah, but the problem is we don't have any battering rams, right? The ninja itself with the angel is the battering ram. And for 40 points, I don't know if that's justified. Let's do this, shuffle the queen over, with the idea of capturing the bomb and eliminating a serious number of pieces that are defending the king, right? We want to use this bomb against the opponent because should we capture it, it would eliminate a lot of their own defense. Okay, the bomb advances, very reasonable move by the opponent. Now should I capture? Of course it would eliminate the bomb, but it would also eliminate my own queen. Let's continue to try to advance. We'll move the queen up, still threatening the bomb, but not something we can really capture. Maybe we can look for like a queen trade. Oh, they produce a minion, which is quite annoying because now it means I should probably move the ninja. Okay, wait, let me move the ninja back. And genuine question, if I were to capture, okay, now we've put the enemy in check, but if I were to capture this queen, I suppose it would use my angel as a life. So wouldn't that put the enemy king in checkmate? I don't know if that makes 0 sense. Let me try capturing and see what happens. Because oh, it is checkmate. Holy smokes, that's so powerful. I knew my reasoning was sound. I just wasn't convinced it could be possible. Okay, wait, so that means that if we have an angel on a ninja and the ninja just sits next to the king anywhere, well, not anywhere, but you know, pretty much anywhere, it's checkmate. That is amazing. Not to mention the opponent had a ghost that I just realized I had never noticed. With that, we get 2 character keys, but forget the character keys. I think we have an absolutely amazing strategy now. Okay, as far as the shop goes, we have 3 to spend. Might as well grab a devil. Not that I have any particular interest in using it, but we do need all of them if we ever want to play ranked games. We only have a few more to collect. We might as well throw 1 extra game in just for the episode, and by next episode, we'll be ready to collect the final few characters and play some ranked games. All right, so let's play Unranked. And I mean, by all means, I guess I should just play this again. Let's go. All right, we found a game. Let's go ahead and accept and see if we can use our overpowered technique against Alex God. Oh, and we get to move first. Absolutely spectacular. Okay, wait, the king is in the nude, I believe. Let's go ahead and place this angel on the ninja. Wait a minute, why is this not just checkmate right here? I mean, surely the king can't do anything about it. Not to mention they're playing with all chess pieces again, which again, I have to respect, but I'm pretty sure this is just checkmate. Okay, that was in fact checkmate. All right, let's continue. I do want to play at least one more game where I can use that strategy and confirm its validity. Let's go ahead and play Unranked, and we'll try that once more. Because if it does work, this is extremely overpowered. All right, we found another game, possibly against the same opponent. It is exactly against the same opponent, but they've readjusted their position, which makes perfect sense. Okay, let's go ahead and do the same thing. We'll place the angel on the ninja, and holy smokes, this has to be winning already. Okay, now that actually isn't check, but it also is free, so I'm gonna take it, even though it's not really in the spirit of our current plan. Plus, it makes the opponent think that we're trying to defend our king, which is exactly what we want. Okay, pawn advances. Now, somebody explain to me, if I move this ninja here, right, am I not just threatening mate here? The king is trapped, right? I play here, I have an extra life, and that is, in fact, that is checkmate. Oh my god, that's so strong. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Forget the extra episode. We're doing it all right now. We're getting all the keys we need immediately. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. We're ready to play. Yes, pair me. I'm ready to accept. Let's go. This is going to be a rampage. All right, this time we're playing Raven. Holy smokes, Raven has some interesting ideas going on here. Whole bunch of knights. We've got some copycats. It doesn't seem there are any particularly powerful pieces. Minus the queens. Okay, they've moved a ghost, which is not ideal. We'll put the extra life on the ninja, and I suppose our plan is simply to get the ninja to this square. Fastest way to do that I can see, I was gonna say is to play here, but then the queen could take it. Although it wouldn't be great for the opponent. If they do play, it would definitely not be great for me. Oh, but the other way I can do it is to play here. Wait, who's threatening that square? Is it the copycats? Oh, it's the queen. Yeah, I guess the queen does sort of cover that square. I think it's still worth a shot though. Let's play the ninja towards the center of the board, and as long as the queen doesn't take, we have ninja here, which is in fact checkmate. If the queen does take, then we lose the life, but we still have the ninja on the board. It would just be a little bit trickier to get the mate on the king. We'd have to probably include the queen in the plan somehow. But we'll see what the opponent makes of this. Oh, they've moved a ghost! That is almost certainly a victory for us. We'll advance the ninja, and we do in fact. We've broken the game, we get checkmate, nice. That is so good. I can't believe we've broken the game already. I don't even know how many keys we need. I'm just gonna keep playing games. All right, give me another game, I'm ready to go. We are ready, in fact. All right, we found a game, let's rock and roll, against Mad Oswald. All right, Mad Oswald has a bougie setup for their side of the board, but we do get to move first. I don't believe there's any immediate danger. That is a fancy looking queen. Oh, and they have a Jester. What is that? Who are you? Oh, you're a sniper, interesting. Wait, can I just capture that sniper? Pretty sure I can just take that. A little bit of an unfortunate setup for the opponent. Of course the squid can take back. Oh, and the ghost, oh! I didn't even notice there was a ghost. Actually, there are two ghosts I've just noticed. Okay, let's quickly apply this angel to the ninja, and the rook takes out our jester and puts us in check. All right, this is already horrendous. I don't think we're gonna have a viable defense. We just don't have enough pieces. A very, very nice setup by the opponent, possibly overpowered. Okay, they advance their rook, which is really interesting. Now, which one do I think is actually the king? That's the question. I have 50 seconds to decide. I'm going to bet that this is the king, because we've got these pieces working on the long diagonal, and this frog, I believe, is a defensive piece. Let me smile at the opponent so they know I'm not just stalling. I'm gonna bet that this is the real king, which means I wanna move my pieces this way, right? So then I can advance here and deliver mate to the king. Now, I don't know if I'm put in check. Will the game force me to move my king out of the way? Oh, they've eliminated my angel. That is not great news. Yeah, that is definitely not great news. On the bright side, I can simply recapture the rook. Unfortunately, yeah, look at him getting beat up. Unfortunately, the opponent has a second ghost, which I have no idea where that might be looming. Okay, the rook shuffles over. Is there any way to get an attack going here? I suppose I should just get the ninja closer to the king. It's going to be our best shot anyways. Oh, we get captured by the frog, or rather the prince. Yeah, well, that's a resignable game. I haven't had to resign a single game thus far, so I'm not even sure where we do that. Forfeit, there we go. All right, unfortunately with that, we lose our first game ever, but we actually do get a key for that anyways. I think that's a good place to call it for now. I believe we only need like a couple more keys, and then we'll have all of the characters to play ranked. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know down below what your strategies are, what you think of my strategy, and if there's any way I can optimize it. I will see you guys in the next one.